Hey everyone, my name's Kerstetter, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different with my channel. So I've had this YouTube channel for a couple of years now, and every so often I post speed drawings playing to some background music. Well, today, instead of having music playing in the background, I've decided to try sharing some of my thoughts on the process of this illustration. I also want to share some new ideas I have for the channel and really just want to have some fun with my videos as a kind of source of therapeutic self-expression. So without further ado, let's get into the art portion of this video. Well, I know it's Christmas time, and around this time last year I did post a speed art of a Christmas fairy. Due to some heavy issues arising in my life, I actually haven't drawn much in the last 3 months. This picture is actually the first I've drawn using my tablet since the beginning of September. Now, this might not seem like a lot to some people, but I went from drawing just about every day, all day, to coming to a sudden stop. I won't get into details, not in this video at least, but possibly in another. We'll see. As of right now, though, let's just say I was hit by a buildup of anxiety and depression that absolutely halted my life. Anyway, back to the artwork. Basically, I wanted to draw something that came out of me naturally, just to get myself back into the swing of things. And nothing comes to me more naturally than monsters with pointed ears and fangs. Here I ended up creating this vampire girl character with a bat creature sidekick. As you've already seen, I started off with a sketch and proceeded to ink the characters in with a rough ink brush I created in Clip Studio Paint. After this, I started to think more about how I was going to put a background in and frame my main character. She's already the center of the piece, and the tree branches are framing her in from one side. Her mini monster sidekick is staring up at her, pulling attention back to her face. Now, I put the moon on the other side of her, but honestly, the whole time I was doing the piece, I felt a nagging sensation at its placement and size, so at this point, I wasn't really thrilled with how it looked. This is probably because it was about the same size as her face and sitting right at her eye level. Couple that with the fact it was pretty close to the same tone as her skin, it made the moon feel much more like a distraction than something to help frame the piece. Moving on, I decided that this time, instead of jumping right into color, I would work in value first. I've done this on occasion, but most of the time I honestly just go straight to flat colors and play with them until I like the overall finished image. The idea of starting with value is to help make sure characters stand out against their backgrounds as well as keep the main focal point clear. I felt like this worked relatively okay, though I also felt I lost the essence of the idea when I started putting actual colors down. In the end, I did change a lot of the values, but still stuck to the main idea I had originally had, which was to keep her skin and face pale, while other values around her were mid-value or dark. You can see when I started to actually put color down that I took the image into Photoshop. It's just a bit easier to use than Clip Studio Paint, because Clip Studio Paint doesn't let you colorize a already gray-scaled layer. For the color, I played with the idea of an analogous scheme, but then later chose to work with complementary colors. The overall image is blue-green, while the parts I wanted to stand out had bits of red. The thing I wanted to stand out the most in this image was the girl's eyes, but I also added red to the little bat character and her clothes. You can see I use a soft brush to add depth to the eyes of the characters, as well as the little red bulb on the end of the bat creature's antenna. I've used this brush to also give a feel of where I want the shadows to be. Usually I go into shading with a hard brush first, but since I was experimenting, I wanted to see if doing it this way would be more efficient. I think overall it depends on the piece I'm working on, and if I'm not certain of where I want the shadows to be. I think it can pretty much work either way though. For shading, I change the layers to multiply, and for light, I use overlay. I build up my shadows and light using multiple layers on top of each other. For cell shading, I use a hard round brush that I can add or erase with relative ease. It's helpful that Clip Studio Paint has the ability to adjust the stabilization of any brush. This keeps my edges smooth and crisp. On occasion, I will use the lasso tool, but most of the time, I'm content with drawing with my brush. And that's pretty much how I work on this type of illustration. In the video, you'll see me continue to adjust the image in the direction I want it to go. Meanwhile, I'd like to talk about some goals I'm setting for this channel. First of all, I plan on being more active in my videos by talking and asking questions to you guys, the viewers. What I'd really like is to post videos twice a week, one being an art video and the other being a vlog. The art videos will be like the one from today, along with me answering questions you might have on art or other fun subjects. The vlog will be on more personal topics like things that have happened to me or are going on in my life at this time. Overall, I'd like my channel to be a place where I can just enjoy creating things and interacting with those who like my videos. As for this video, what do you guys think of my vampire girl and her little sidekick? I worked in some last-minute changes like making the bat creature's overall color green and pulled the moon more into the background by making it smaller and darker. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you have a favorite supernatural or fantasy creature? If so, put a link or description in the comments and you may just see a drawing of it in the future. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, or better yet, subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you later.